Hello, everybody. Now, I hope you can hear me. I'm I'm on a new computer, um, and I'm in my room because it just happens that way. So I'm not in my office area. Sort of got booted out of there because we're having issues with the TV in this room. So, anyways, I wanted to come on and talk to you guys quickly. Um, you know how there's never a coincidence, like you say, well, it's not a coincidence or synchronicities and things along that line. Well, a few months, I don't even know when, but when I was talking about different things in history and about big railroad crashes and things like that happened, and I'm trying to think of where it was now, but uh I started thinking about railway crashes. And then as I'm thinking about this, I end up listening to one of my um, economists that I listen to, and he's from England, Neil McCoy. And he was talking about a railway derailment that happened in the United States from Canada. It was carrying, and it was I think it was in June of this year. So this derailment that happened, and it was carrying potash. And then I thought, okay, that's so interesting because I think there was another derailment, and there was one in March that was carrying potash as well. Well, potash is actually used as part of a fertilizer, and it's like, Saskatchewan is the biggest potash place, to my understanding, in the world. All right, don't quote me on that. But I found it interesting. As you start to sort of wanting to correlate everything and bring things together, right? Um, and right now, with everything that's going on in the world, uh, when you look at the different states like Iowa, Kentucky, California, down in the southern hemisphere of the United States. I don't know all the states. I can't say them. I know Dakota's one of them. Um, did I say Kentucky? Kentucky. I don't know if Kentucky's a state, but anyways. But I'm thinking, like, all of these different states, a big drought is happening now. Drought. A couple things. Why I'm bringing this. I'm bringing about potash. I'm bringing you a drought. So all of this has to do with a cycle. Like, the drought is about a cycle. The other part is the potash, and the fertilizer, whether that was just a derailment or something else, whatever. It's I feel like there is a push to create more of an economic strife. Now, usually, way back when there was a pandemic, and I'm using that in quotation, over 50% of the population dies. Less than 1% of the population died with COVID. And now they're bringing back more tests. Our prime minister wants you to get boosted every 9 months for something that isn't mm, is bad. I think it's bad because it's bad because it wasn't naturally formed. Let's put it that way. So we have something that's coming in that is not naturally formed. We have created in this world a lot of things that aren't naturally formed, right down to our agricultural system, our farming industry, our ranching industry. All of that is not um, naturally formed, right? It is a natural thing of doing it, of raising animals and farming in that. Yes, yes. But the way that we do it today, it is not natural. We have tried to harness things, tried to control things, and manipulate the world in how we do it. And, when certain people get power, then more manipulation comes in, and we start to begin to see the demise of our society. The reason I brought up potash is because of the fertilizer. Now, a lot of railways, like the Union Pacific Railway, is talking about like they don't really want to carry, such dangerous items on their railway. And I don't think potash is dangerous, but that was something that was quoted. And talking about how we are in a time of crisis when it comes to food. And one of those things for coming into a time of crisis because of food is because we have not taking care of our world. We have not properly taken care of that world. Also, we have not properly taken care of ourselves in learning how to prepare for such things. We have come to a point in our lives that we're very dependent upon the government. We're very dependent upon the grocery stores. We're very dependent upon, not upon ourselves to grow our own garden, to learn to can, to freeze, and everything else. Now, I feel there's quite a bit of energies that are coming in that are crossing, that are crossing with all of this. Not only is a lot of the occurrences in the world are natural, but a lot of the occurrences in the world too are man-made because of what we have wanted to manipulate and what we have wanted to control. And every time we have tried through history to control nature, to control how things work, whether it is the rise and the fall of the Nile, whether it is the way that we conduct ourselves with trying to harness different types of energies, we end up screwing ourselves. And that's where we're at. And follow me with this. These are just thoughts that I've had and that are coming in, is that so much that we have tried to do, and we want things out of convenience. We want this out of convenience. We want to be able to, and I want convenience. Trust me, I don't want you to take away my toilet. We want these things, yet we want them and we don't work within the harmony of the energies. And I feel, especially after this full moon, was a apex of a revelation of a revealing of all of the craziness that's happening in the world right now, for us to really take a closer look at what's going on, so that we are able to begin to work with the harmony and the synchronicities of this energy. And as we are working with the harmony and the synchronicities of this world, we are going to see different things that happen that seem crazy, like the derailments, whether it was whatever, however it happened. This was like allowing us to get to know and saying, hey, there's a better way. And I believe there is definitely a better way in how we deal with our animals, deal with the way that we are, the way that we consume. I honestly don't think you have to have meat 7 days a week. I honestly don't think you have to have, like, plants hold so much protein. Chia seeds alone, chia oil has, if you use chia oil, it has all the omegas, right? It has all the omegas that you need, that you'd get from fish oil, is in chia seeds and in chia oil. And you can make your own dressing out of chia oil. It's absolutely a fabulous uh natural, beautiful um food source. There's many different types of food source, and I think this is where we, as resources, and as we begin to look at the world of what's happening, how we need to begin to do things differently, and doing things differently from how we consume the products that we have. Sorry, I'm sort of lopsided here. I don't want you, like, I'm in my bedroom. my room. Anyways, it's like I don't want you to see my mess. I was going to say, um, it's that consumption part is one part of the issue. One part is the consumption part. The other part is we have allowed ourselves to become lazy. And with Pluto, when Pluto entered in 2008, it was this eruption. It was a change in our ideas. There was a change in the way that we live. It was a disruption of everything that we do within our society. It was bringing up so much of everything. And, Steve said to me today, he goes, well, knowing all of this, what does it do? I says, what it does, it allows the people who want to listen to make the changes, to give them the warning to make sure that they do make the changes that they need to do in their life so that they are ready and they are prepared. That's the biggest thing. And the more that hear the message that of preparation of saying, yeah, we need to change a lot. We need to change how we consume. We need to change how we are in harmony with the environment, and understanding that the soil is a living entity. It's a living, breathing entity of that's my cat, of of energy. It's not just something that needs things added to it, right? There's so much that we have to relearn that our ancestors knew in working with harmony with the earth. When you see people like the farmers in India, they have there's an area in India that is prided on being organic, and it is truly organic. The farmers do not use they use an ox, right? And they plow with the old plows. They are in touch. They are in one with their land. And I'm not saying that farmers aren't one with their land, that have a tractor and stuff. I don't want to get a bunch of farmers on my ass. But what I'm saying is that we're really out of touch. And this full moon was trying to get us in touch with our emotions and our feelings, because we are entering into a new gateway of a new way of energizing ourselves, a new way of feeding ourselves. I'm not telling you to go out there and eat crickets. Trust me, I'm not going to tell you go out there and eat that. Sure in the hell I ain't eating crickets. But what it is, it's coming back and being in harmony with the land, being in harmony with how we approach the earth, Gaia. We are in this energy of relearning and really understanding how we can come back into an alignment. When recently, when Rogers went down and then all the banks went down and everything else, that was a wake up call to something more major. That's what's going to happen. And cash isn't going to save us. It's not going to be the cash. It's going to be our ingenuity and our connections with one another is going to save us. That's what's going to save us. It's going to be, how do you connect? Do you know your neighbor? How well do you know your neighbor? Can you connect with that neighbor and ask them, oh my God, the power went down. Do you have this, this, this? Can I borrow this until whatever? That's where the energies are coming in. How are we connecting within the community? Because at the end of the day, yeah, you can have, okay, everything goes down and you have cash. Cool. Okay. Yes, I still keep cash on hand for now, but you have cash. So you have 3,000, maybe you have $500 cash on hand, whatever the amount is. After it's gone, then what? then what? It's great. Okay, because what is it worth? What is that worth? It's actually worth nothing. But a bag of potatoes is worth a hell of a lot. A chicken is worth a hell of a lot. This is where we really have to think. And now a lot of people are going to ask me, "Well, Mama, are you saying that we're going to be going back to some kind of trading?" We might. We might have to. I think there's going to be food for us in North America, but I do pricing every Thursday at Save on Foods, and every couple weeks, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch how the prices are going up. And sometimes people don't realize that it's a dime, it's 25 cents. Um, Sometimes they do a little hike up, but you don't notice it because they still keep it on sale. And then all of a sudden it's not on sale anymore and you've run out of that product, right? And you have to go buy it and the price has gone up. Those things, right? So being aware of that. And this energy that's coming in, especially with Pluto. Pluto is bringing in huge transformation of getting us and changing our not only our environment but our DNA. When our environment changes, our DNA changes. It becomes we become a different form of matter in um how we do and consume things, how we eat. And we are coming into a time where you're going to find, I know this is going to blow people's minds away, that you're going to find that over the next several years, you're going to be unable to eat beef or anything four-legged. And I know a lot of people out there love their steak, but you're going to have a harder time in consuming that. Our bodies are going to have a harder time in consuming that. And I'm not saying it's because of the elixir, but I'm saying that is because we have gone through this different gateway, this new gateway that we are going in, and we are starting to see the world in a different way. And as Pluto, as it is, retrograding and where it's sitting right now, and when it goes forward again and goes into Aquarius, we are going to be starting to really feel how our bodies are going to be energetically changed. And maybe it's not going to be so much, of us old farts like me, but it's going to be the younger ones. It's going to be the new babies that are coming up. It's going to be, and I'm going to, anybody who, I'm going to say anybody, and I got like 25 and under are going to be really feeling the biological changes that are happening, because 25 and under, they haven't come to their first Saturn return, but they've done a lot of other changes. But from newborn to 25, and plus we're going to have less children being born. So we're going to be coming into a time where less children are being born, into a world where there's less of a population, and that's where your depopulation and less than 50% of the population is going to be gone. And we're going to be seeing that over the course, and I'm going to say it's going to take us at least a decade, maybe a decade in that. And I know, Tanya, I know it's like, it sounds crazy, but if you, especially as you get, as you start to, because our bodies are changing. One of the reasons why, okay, with this gateway, so our bodies biologically are starting to change. One of the reasons too is that you will not have the amino acids within your body to break it down. Your body will not have the amino acids. And many children that are coming into this world today don't have certain amino acids to break certain foods down. They have food allergies. They have, they have digestive problems. They have bowel problems. They have all of these other things that are going on because they're unable to digest the food. And one of the other reasons is that we have been so disconnected from our environment and from our connection to the earth and connection to how we do things. We have actually really reformulated our bodies to not be able to have and consume what we have consumed. And plus, the nutrients aren't there. The nutrients aren't in the food anymore because we have destroyed, and it's going to take time for us to begin to replenish that. And how we do it will be the mom and pop, backyard farms, backyard hydroponics. That's how you're going to be replenishing the land and the food. And the thing is that, when you look at it, like here's a crazy thing. Do you know that, many times when people are feeding pigs, like producing pigs eat fish. Why are pigs eating fish? And why aren't cows grazing? And they don't always feed cows, the grain that they need. Cows were meant to graze, right? But we have become such consumers of bacon and steak, and all of that fast food, crazy foods that, this is what I see happening. And this full moon has set us through and going through new gateway, a new gateway. And this new gateway is really going to um, have us create a new way of consuming, a new way of, I hate that word consuming, a new way of creating a better world, creating a better place and in harmony with that. And in doing this, now the thing is, you got to love how human beings work. But in doing that and creating this newness in this new world, is that we have to go through an extreme disruption in order to get to the other side. So what we will see, because in times of drought, in times when we are over consuming, we will begin to see the depopulation and things. And the famine that will be coming forward, we will see some, I think, in North America. It'll come to be, I think this is going to come to a point where people are going to get, more rebellious. But we're going to be seeing more of the famine, very much like when I worked for peace and development way back in the 70s. There was always a famine going on in Africa, and there's always a drought happening in Africa. And we were always working on trying to get food and water to the people in Africa. Well, this is going to spread further than Africa. We're going to be seeing, parts and places of famine in Europe. We're going to be seeing it, we're already going to be seeing it in Indonesia. I mean, that's going to be a horrific place, coming. We've heard different things what happened in Venezuela, but we're going to be seeing it in pockets, like all over, like it's going to be spreading. That is your plague. Your plague isn't COVID. Your plague is famine. That's what the plague is. The plague is famine. It is the lack of food that we will be seeing and unable to get a hold of. That is what is going to be the biggest destruction and depopulation of the world. That's my biggest prediction. And we're going to be seeing it rapidly because everything is accelerated. And with that, that's going to cause other economic issues where all of a sudden you don't have somebody to come in and replace you at your job, right? So let's go with Generation Z. God bless them, little fuckers. Um, you know, Having to replace The millennials. The millennials have to replace, Gen Z or Gen X. Gen X has been replacing the baby boomers. Now, who's coming in to replace Generation Z, right? There's going to be few and far between. Fewer babies were born so far this year, even though that we were locked down. And yes, we see all these beautiful babies, but fewer babies were born in the beginning part of 2022 than any time. And the death rate is higher than than we've ever seen before. But the death rate is not related to COVID. And they're trying to figure that out. They had a few things on board. But this is the new gateway, the changes that are coming in. Some of them definitely are man-made. Um, but a lot are a natural occurrence, especially the droughts. And as we are, going through these different changes within the world, we have been totally unprepared for it. So this is part of the, I guess, the awakening, part of what is unfolding for us all in order for us to step into our power and our light and create that power, create that light, create that new nuances within our world and our connections that we need to be taking at this time. So I had to share my thoughts with you. Let me know what you think. I know sometimes when I come on and it's just like, what is she saying? She's so crazy. But I just feel like there is things are going to be starting to accelerate, especially after this moon. And we also have Mars coming up to Uranus, going to be conjuncting, and the North Node conjuncting with Uranus as well. They're only a couple degrees apart, but we're starting to feel the craziness coming in and the battle that's going to be unfolding for the world. It's not just for us, it's for the world. We're going to be seeing it. This is not just one country, but it's every country. And when we go back to where the potash and the fertilizer and things like that, sometimes I think, Mother Nature is saying, well, people, don't you know there's another way to create fertilizer? How many people have worm farms? How many people are actually making their own soil or connecting with their own soil, with the land? And, sometimes farmers don't take the time to do it anymore, right? It's so much easier to get the fertilizer, pour it in there, do our thing. But this is also Mother Nature probably saying too, you know what? We got to make some changes here to make some new connections with the earth so that we are able to live in more harmony and not pollute our waters and our streams. So the awakening is happening on so many levels for us. And our bodies are going through a catastrophic change within this all and entering into such higher frequencies of wave, of these wave frequencies. And these wave frequencies are changing ideas, thoughts, and beings, and even the way that we eat. I'm not saying for you guys to go out and buy Beyond Meat, if but what I'm saying is that this is getting you to really start paying more attention to how your body is, because your body never ever lies, and what you hold as values. I talked about that the other day, and bringing, what your values are, and stepping into that. So, getting headaches and dizziness lately. Yeah. I've been getting dizziness too, but then I don't know if it's because I'm overtired or or maybe I got high blood pressure. Who knows? Uh, but no, definitely more headaches and dizziness coming in because it's the pressure of the change that's coming forward, right? So there's a lot more that's coming in, a lot more pressure and change that's happening. And I like myself a nice steak, you know, but it's where it's like, okay, we gotta look at consuming something, I guess, easier for our bodies, because our bodies are going through so much. We can't have the heaviness um in our bodies at this time. It's the heaviness, you know. So if we're going to do it, we might do it in smaller portions and stuff. So sorry about the stream of light that is there. It's coming from my from there. It's I'm not in a stream of light from God. Fish fry. Yeah, and also getting, if you're going to do fish, make sure it's fresh. What was it? I was just hearing, was it for tuna? To get 1 pound of tuna, they have to feed it 7 pounds of mackerel or something. That's like here, for one, like, that doesn't make any sense, right? So, but for fish, it has to be fresh. It has to be fresh. And um, that's going to be a big, that's another one. It has to be fresh fish. Here, I got to move over this way, move over this way. So, and having the freshness, right? So, yeah. So those are my thoughts for you all tonight. I had to get it out. Steve had to watch his show in there, so I had to figure out where am I going to go do this. So here I am. So thank you all for joining me this evening. And hey, my summer sale is on, and it's $99 right now to the end of July, just to, because I know, to help people out. But after that, it's going to go back up to regular price, and we'll see when I have a sale again. But I know many of you wait for the sale. Yes, fresh seafood. Oh, yes. I love fresh seafood. Fresh, yeah. And it doesn't smell fishy either. But my sale is on, so definitely book in. I have time coming up next week. So so I have plenty of time. If you want to buy one and save it for later, you can do that as well, but make sure you use it by the end of the year. So don't try and hold it on for 2 years. If you need a reading, I'm just saying. But if you need to buy one now, save it for later, definitely you can do that. So sending you guys out so much love. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all that you say, and all that you be, and all that you do. Angels dance on your pillow, and the Blessed Mary watch over you all. I am going to go have a shower, and off to bed I go. 4 a.m. comes quick. Blessed be everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.